Okay.
Okay.
Hi guys.
Q&A time.
Thanks to everyone who commented on our last video and
Yes, we got some good questions. And so we decided to do like a Q&A ween night.
We've got our ween, we've got our Pringles,
Yes.
and let's get straight into it.
Let's go! The first like questions we're looking at are from @cmastriani. She's a really loyal subscriber of ours. So she said, sounds like you're surviving on not much money. What's your daily budget? So it's a funny one, because what we were talking about earlier is that last video at the beginning, we were raving about our like tiny budget and how we were spending €5 each on food a day.
Yeah, and then we had some complications with our health.
Some health issues.
I had a 3-day-long migraine, and I had to spend a whole day in bed.
Yeah.
Because we just weren't eating well.
It wasn't good.
We were
like
just having bread and like
we
like,
aren't built for that life. Like,
yeah,
actually.
it's like not enough to, you know, it was just not good. And we weren't staying in a town where we had like a big supermarket where we could get like actual food. We were just getting like bread and stuff.
And like to be fair, like it was like trial and error a bit because we thought that was sustainable, but now we know it's not.
It's not. So at the moment we're living on a budget of €8 a day, which is about 16 or 17 New Zealand dollars, and that's really good for us. Each, yeah. We went out when we got here and we did a big grocery shop because we're in an Airbnb, so we have like a place that we can cook and stuff. And we basically got like all of our breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks for 5 days, and that was
And it's only €3 more each a day, but it makes a big difference. Like I think because we got groceries because we cook food, and more than just have noodles and bread.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What?
That guy is just like topless and anyways, like an older guy across from us now. You can just
anyway, it'll change depending on where we are and like the currencies and stuff and whether we're in our hostels, but at the moment €8 a day. Okay, next question is what do you do when you feel bored or homesick? This is a really good question to see Mastriani because we've definitely felt that a bit. When we were in Cordoba, we had some issues because there wasn't much to do in the city and we definitely stayed too long. Yeah. So we were really bored in Cordoba. What we did actually is we went out for a little shop. We decided to treat ourselves and we got a colouring book. It's a unicorn one, unicorns and rainbows. Yeah, because it's funny when you're traveling, like you don't have anything apart from what's in your bag, whereas we're at home there's always like random options. Yeah, this is a piece we did together. I was really proud of that. So just getting out, even if you don't do anything but just walking around, like I feel like just clears your mind, because sometimes when you're bored and stuck it just feels like really like foggy in your mind, you know? Going out, leaving the house or the hostel. Another thing with homesickness is we're obviously lucky that we live in an age where we can like call our families and friends and stuff. So, you know, if our family's awake and available, we'll call them. But we haven't been struck with terrible homesickness like consistently yet. It's just been like some days we'll feel it. Yeah. Or you'll like see something or smell something or hear something and you'll be like, oh my gosh, I miss home so much. But with homesickness, like we were talking about this today, it's the sort of thing you can't really ignore. You can't repress it. It's like such a strong feeling and it really pulls you down. Wouldn't wish it on anyone. It's not something I've ever really felt. Like I felt it like when I was a kid at sleepovers and stuff, but I've never felt homesickness like this. No. Like it's not something that you can really explain to someone unless they go through it, and it's obviously good that we're feeling this for the first time, but I think with homesickness, like we were saying today, you kind of just have to feel it. It honestly gives you a new perspective on home, because like we've said this, like it kind of makes you realize, like for us at least, like we're lucky to feel like this. Like it makes us realize how lucky we are, because I'm sure so many people travel and are like, oh my god, home sucks. But for us it's like, wow, home is amazing. I feel like our big three when we're feeling just like sad or bored or in a rut or homesick is to like talk about it with each other, listen to music and journal, like write it down. So next question, still from C. Mastriani, is what's the most interesting thing you've seen? This is interesting. As is the question itself, but yeah, I mean, interesting. Like we've seen. Really, I feel like it depends. It was interesting. I think this is kind of like a stretch, but we were talking about the nature, right? And when we were in the mountains of Granada, and Daisy and I both have like our own
like connections with nature in our own ways. Like we both live,
homes, yeah.
you know, and we were talking about the mountains in Granada and they were so beautiful, but it's funny because like I almost felt like they were like, it was like a fraud in a way, because I was like, this is so beautiful, but it's not New Zealand. I don't even know how to put that into words, but that was interesting for me to be like, wow, I'm so happy to be here. But it feels like Spanish mountain. It does not feel like nature mountain.
Well, that's what we said when we were up in the mountains in Granada. And I remember we were like looking around and we were like, oh my god, this is just insane that this is real. But like, I don't know, if I looked at a small section of it, I was like, oh, this is like home, like this is like the mountain by my house and stuff. But then like when I looked at the whole thing, I don't know. I know what you mean. I guess it's just that we're so used to like really beautiful nature,
wildlife at home,
that it's not like, I don't know, someone from like a really, like maybe a really like central place going to a place like that would be like, oh my god.
Yeah. But, so it's just, I guess that was interesting to like see in a way, because it was like, well, this is like my favorite thing, but it feels so different at the same time.
Yeah. Most interesting thing, like, I don't know. I mean, we've definitely observed some interesting people,
habits,
like habits and stuff. Interesting food. Like we were trying to find some beans. And we did buy some beans in Barcelona, like a can of beans, and we opened them, and there's just these two little like pieces of meat,
like raw chunks of,
and like, not enough to do anything.
Fleshy
like,
meat.
I don't know if it was just for flavor, but that was disgusting. But it was interesting because it was like, we can't find any cans of beans here, and in New Zealand they're everywhere. So that's one thing.
Obviously, I'm sure like people expect to say like the Alhambra, which was beautiful, but we both probably should have read up more about the history beforehand, because I feel like we couldn't appreciate like the like depth of like the
I mean, if we were really like into history, I'm sure places like that would be like tear jerking.
Yeah, it's true.
Next question.
Okay, this next question is same as Gianni. What's inspiring you at the moment?
We talked about this question today because
I was just thinking about how my mum asked all of these.
It's so sweet. We were thinking about this question today. We were talking about it because it's really interesting, and there's a lot of things that inspire us. I mean, like we were talking about music. Some music like really inspires us to like, I don't know how to put it to words.
It just inspires you to feel something.
Yeah.
Or to talk about something.
Yeah. So like, sometimes we'll hear a song and we'll be like, oh my gosh, do you remember this? And then we'll talk about something like that. We were also talking about the yoga class we did in Barcelona.
Yeah, that's right.
And that really inspired us. Even though it was just like an hour and a half long thing, it inspired us to do yoga, the two of us, in our own time. And like, I felt we've always appreciated it, but never really like grasped
never like this,
I guess we just haven't been living in a way that is so slow and allows you to like actually be like really mindful.
Just like being in high school and like you just don't, that's not really like, people don't really care about that, which is fair enough because there's so many other things going on. Yeah, I think the yoga class inspired us not only just to do yoga, but just to think about that kind of stuff, like just being a bit more mindful. Another thing we talked about, which is hard to actually follow through with while you're traveling, is like it kind of came with the yoga class, because then like I feel like we were thinking more about being mindful and health. We were like, damn, like we just want to like eat great and find like nutritious recipes and like cook our own food, which we have been doing, but not to that extent. But that's like a cool thing. Like I think
how food in general has been inspiring because there's so many good places out to eat in Spain, and there's lots that we can do when we're in a place with like, you know, but it's also just exciting being able to cook for yourself all the time. Like I think a lot of people might find that really daunting and not like the idea of having to cook, but I don't know, like we really like the idea of like, you know, providing for ourselves and so that's good.
And what we were talking about earlier when we thought about this question is the idea of growth, because we both left home on good and bad notes, kind of, you know?
Yeah.
And we both, like, started our trips, like, a little bit lost and a little bit, like... And so I feel like that's something that inspires you, is, like, knowing, like, what's to come and, like, working for it and, like, just growing as a person. Yeah.
Yeah, that's inspiring, like, all the time we have ahead of us and stuff, and just, like, all the things that we can do. And then... just like, also I feel like being around someone else all the time is inspiring, because, you know, sometimes Lucy will do something and I'm like, I'm gonna do that too, and not in a copying way, but it's like, I wasn't gonna do that, but you've inspired me to do this or whatever, you know, like, it's just,
I think like overall what's inspiring is just like having all this time to think and like just learning about yourself
Yeah,
and
so
things.
much
Like,
time.
obviously, sometimes it's like, wow, there's so much time, but often it's just, I feel like you can change the narrative and be like, oh my gosh, I've been given like all this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next question is, what are the other travelers like who you've come across?
This is interesting
Funny
because
question.
we have come across like a few, we've met a few travelers in our hostels, but we were talking about this today, like we haven't stayed in a parties hostel yet, but we also haven't stayed in a hostel that's just like bustling.
Yeah.
It's probably the time of year, like it's not proper Euro summer yet, so it's not really popular, but we've met lots of Europeans, we've met people who are just on little holidays in Spain, like they live in Spain and they're just going to a place in Spain, or they live in some like neighboring European country. But one thing about everyone we've met is that when they ask where we're from and we say New Zealand, they're so shocked. Like they're all like, oh my gosh, you're so far from home. And it's so funny, I was talking to my dad about this, like the question that everyone always asks us is, how did you get here? They're always like, what was your route? And they're not even asking about our trip overseas or what we're doing like in whatever city we're meeting these people in. They ask about like, what countries did you go through? Like, how did you get here? So that's interesting. Like, I guess people just don't have much of an idea about how to get to New Zealand or how to get to New Zealand to Europe, because why would you if you're not from there and not going there? But for lots of people talk about like the Lord of the Rings and stuff. But people are so curious. Like that's something about travelers that we've met. They're so curious. They ask us so many questions, which is nice.
We haven't met anyone like rude or anything.
No, nothing like
Everyone's
that.
super sweet so far. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what travelers like. They're curious and they're kind and they don't know that much about New Zealand, but we will enlighten.
We're here to teach. Next question is, what do you do when your roommate snores loudly all night? Funny question.
So if you watched our last vlog, you might remember that we were in a hostel
in Cordoba.
towards the end in Cordoba. Then we went to like a really nice apartment the next night, a nice fancy apartment, and then we filmed and we went out for our drinks and stuff, and then we had to catch the bus the next morning. What we didn't explain in those videos is that we ended up in that fancy apartment for a reason. So what C. Mastriani is referring to in her comment is
the man. So we were in a hostel and it was a mixed room, which means there's men and women. You can get female only dorms in a lot of places. I don't think it was a thing at this place, or we just didn't get it when we booked it like months ago. We're just not like thinking that deeply.
Yeah, so, and it also was fine. Like we can share rooms with men, it's fine. He came in, didn't really speak to us that much, but we just said like hi.
We were already in bed when he came in anyways.
Began to snore throughout the night.
Oh, let's insert a clip.
And that doesn't even do it justice. It was like, I'm not being dramatic, it was ground shaking.
Basically, I couldn't fall asleep, so Daisy probably went to sleep at around like 11:30, and then I stayed up. At like 1, this 12:30, random guy walks into our hostel with nothing, no inventory, no bag, just gets into the bed above me. He lies down, snorer guy leaves, comes back, weird like transition going on. Then the guy starts snoring, the snoring guy, so loud. At 4 a.m, Daisy whispers my name and we talk.
Like Lucy, like
we can't sleep.
Like as soon as I pick up something when I'm sleeping, a distant sound, it's over for me. I can't sleep, and I sleep with an eye mask, earplugs, so I'm like shut out. But when I heard
nothing
that
was blocking that out,
I was like, Lucy, this is bad.
I just called my parents like for unrelated reasons. We were just chatting, and then I told my parents about our night. And then
she was emotional.
Oh, I was having a fat cry. I was crying a lot, but it wasn't even over the night before. It was just like the homesickness. Like, I didn't sleep, so I was emotional. And then my dad ended up booking us like an apartment to stay that night,
which was very nice. If you're watching Jenny, not Jenny Mastriani. If you're watching Kiwi, thank you so much.
In the future, we'll have to thug it out. But
we were lucky to be treated.
That guy, we got treated by my dad so well, and that guy caught us in a bad moment because that was not the week for someone to keep us up all night.
Usually we just get on with stuff like that and we wouldn't really care. But you know when you're vulnerable and then you have a bad sleep and it's like, okay, my life's ending. Anyway, that's what you do. Thank you for your question.
But yeah, usually earplugs, headphones, and just thug it out.
Oh, if you're traveling, you need
Earplugs.
At Izzy345, which is Isabella's.
Isabella's favorite.
We also rehearsed your questions a bit today, not rehearsed, but a few of them we were just chatting about. So, what's the first one? Okay. Yeah. What aspect of Isabella
do you miss the most? Okay, this is a good question.
We were talking about this a bit today, or I don't know if we asked about that one specifically, but
yeah.
Do you want me to go first?
Okay.
It's front of mind. Okay. Well, I was talking about this today with Lucy, actually. Something I genuinely really miss about Izzy is that she is always, like, someone you can go to for anything, but something she's really good at is, like, justifying things. Not things that are unjustifiable, like, it's not like she's the only one justifying them. She's just really good at making me feel better about things. And one thing that she would always do is, like, spending. Like, sometimes I feel like we need her in the room with us because we'll be a little bit, like, overthinking our spending and stuff because we're on a budget and we don't want to have to go home early and stuff. But Izzy is so good with that. Like, she'll always just be like, Daisy, you need to treat yourself. Like, you know, she's just really good at that. So I always think about her and times like these because I'm like, she would be here being like, you worked for this. This is what you worked for. She's just so good at, she's a good voice of reason and I carry that with me. But I also just miss, like, when I think about, like, her car, when I think about all of our friends' cars and, like, parked at school and stuff, that makes me sad. Like, that makes me miss everyone. I miss being in, like, their passenger seat or, like, driving them around.
What I miss the most about Izzy is probably, like, I miss, like, Izzy when she was, like, finding something really funny. Oh, and she would just, like, laugh, like, oh. And she would just, like, heckle. Yeah. I miss that. And I just miss, like, so when Izzy was just, like, gaff, like, carefree, like, she just, like, knew what she liked and wanted. It was just so funny. Like, when you would play your music, like, I miss,
this is another thing about Izzy, is that this is something everyone who knows about her. She is sure of, like, what she likes and what she thinks, like you said, Lucy. And it's so inspiring. It's so good to be around someone who isn't, like, you know, easy to, like, push over and stuff. I think we used to both have that trait quite badly in high school, of just being pushovers, like, fully. Still working on it. I'm sure. But, Izzy pulled me out of that a lot. So, like, she'd just be like, you know, she's just, it's a very refreshing, it's a really refreshing trait to be around someone who's just, like, unapologetic, yet still very, like, kind and empathetic. Miss you, girl. Next question. What reminds you of? Well, I have something to start off with. Lucy, we bought new moisturizer together. And a few of our friends use
Izzy and Abby.
When I smelt this Nivea Soft moisturizer, I was just reminded of Izzy and that smell. But also we were saying today, like, music. When I listen to
memories,
like, Tyler, the Creator,
like anything,
Ocean,
like,
I think of
just so many things remind us of our friends. Yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you miss Isabella? 10. 10. Obviously. 10. Okay. What's the favorite wildlife you've encountered? So this is a good one.
Peacock.
The peacock.
We saw a peacock, which was cool, but I will say it made us feel a bit uneasy because
it
was in this botanic garden, but it wasn't caged, but it was on the top of some, like, garage thing. Yeah. And I don't think that peacocks can fly properly.
Exactly.
So I'm like, was it just trapped there all day? It didn't make us feel great because it looked like it was maybe there against its will, and the way it was showing its feathers was I don't know why peacocks do that. Maybe we should, like, research that. Because I'm interested. I don't know if they just, like, do it. Because I kind of thought that peacocks did that to mate. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's what I
Anyway, it was almost like they'd trained it. Every time a person came up to it, it would go, like...
Yeah, and it would, like, shake its feathers.
And everyone would just be, like, taking photos. So that made me
felt a bit weird. The green parrots. They're everywhere and they're really cute.
Everywhere.
I'll mix together these two of history knowledge and Spanish colonization. Long story short, we don't really know much about Spanish colonization. We haven't learned much.
I know about different segments of it.
Probably, like, once you listen to this, but
because also we will probably butcher it.
Yeah, it's also because. What weather temperature do you most enjoy? Has it been nice and warm or sometimes a bit too hot for your NZ preferences?
It's interesting because in New Zealand, like, our hot is like a normal day in Spain, like 21 degrees, 22 degrees, like
that's like cool. That's like cool here.
Yeah. So that's like normal and people will be walking around like scarves and stuff. I would say my perfect, like, temperature is probably like 23 or 24, like lying on the beach. When we were in Cordoba,
it was 29 and still,
it was too hot
and blazing sun,
and there was no beach.
No,
so it was like, what am I supposed to do when it's 29 degrees?
In Malaga, this is the thing, is it's a lot cooler. Like, it's like 2021 today, which is like nice, but the only thing is that it's low-key not swimming. Like, we're at the beach, but I don't get hot enough to go in the water. But my next questions are from Scarlett Nihoster 5693. First one, she says, how has it been so far in hostels? Pros, cons, any tips for future travelers? Yeah.
Pros, I would say meeting people and it's cheap.
Cheap.
That's the 2 pros.
Cons is,
I mean,
like,
you don't get like a lot of privacy. Like,
privacy.
I guess we're still adjusting to it, but you can feel maybe like a bit like observed or like, you know, you're just sort of like, this is weird that there's this person I've only spoken to for 5 seconds that's like sleeping above me or whatever.
Tips for future travelers is like, we were talking about this earlier, probably this is something we still have to learn more, and we were so scared of at the beginning, is just to like talk to people, because everyone who's in a hostel is going to be up to chat to you, because, you know, like everyone's, you know, but I think just to like put yourself out there a little bit, even if you don't want to like hang out with people, just to talk to people a bit, probably will make the place feel a bit more comfortable than if you've like segregated. What is the clubbing / partying culture like in Spain compared to New Zealand? Okay.
Okay, so my
You have to
storage is
on here.
literally full.
So we just
got a
swapped
notification
phones.
that was like, your iPhone storage is full, so we just swapped phones. But what we were saying is, people party later into the night in Spain, or like earlier into the morning, because everything's later in Spain. You have to pay an entry fee to get into clubs, so it's more expensive.
And people go out during the week more than they do at home.
And yeah, in Wellington, it's like Friday, Saturday, no one really goes out other nights. And also, we're lucky in Wellington because clubbing is all like on the same strip. It's all really close together, but in Spain, in most places, I'm assuming like all the places we've been, it's just clubs like all over the place spread out. Like you would have like bars. So you go to one
just stay
night.
in one club.
Yeah, I mean, you go to one club, you like pay to get in, and you just stay there the whole night. Is it exciting not having a routine every day? It's interesting, like, it's exciting is an interesting word, like, it's not, I mean, okay, sometimes, most days I wake up and I remember that I have actually nothing weighing on me today, and I can literally do whatever I want. Like, hell yeah, I get to just create my day, but we definitely have moments where it's daunting, and it's also like, sometimes it sucks not having anything that you need to achieve.
I think it's not, it doesn't feel like how you think it feels when you're like in school and you're like, imagine having nothing to do.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like, I don't know how to explain it.
In our last video, we talked about that a bit when we, well, barely, but we were like kind of joking about it, but we did have a moment in Cordoba once again where we were like, oh my God, I have no direction in life.
Yeah. So sometimes it's a bit challenging, but something we're working through.
This question, I think this is our last one, from Miss Magni.
Miss Magni.
You say it. Our most popular subscriber with the most followers. And he says, what's been your favorite place so far and why? Good question. We were talking about this earlier because we have like we have favorites for different reasons. I would say, it's hard. Well, we have really good memories in Barcelona because we had free accommodation. We weren't staying in a hostel. We were staying with a family friend who helped us out a lot. We weren't stressed about money at all when we were in Barcelona, and it's Barcelona. Like, it's an amazing city. There's so much to do. So I feel like we'll always like, you know, have really good memories from that. But then also when we went in the mountains in Granada, that was a highlight because it was beautiful and it was really peaceful. And it was like everything we could have ever imagined.
It like grounded us.
It was really grounding. But then also I love Malaga. Like, we're having a lot of fun.
Because we can just like, it's like being on holiday. Like, we literally just wake up, like have a slow morning, go to the beach, cook dinner. And
we literally, like, the last couple of days we've just spent the entire day at the beach just lying down, reading, talking, writing and stuff, and then we'll just come home, and it's so nice because we have like a house, you know. So I think accommodation definitely plays into it, but like I also think that Malaga is just such a nice city. It reminds us of Wellington. It's like Wellington summer right now. Like, it's not boiling hot, it's like the perfect amount of hot. And yeah, like, I don't know, that's literally every city we've been to apart from Cordoba. No hate, it was beautiful.
We're acting like Cordoba's horrible. Well, it's like beautiful, gorgeous, but like, it was so nice. Caught us at a bad time.
Yeah, it really did. We weren't ready for what it had to bring for us.
Yeah.
But oh my God! But we went to see Sitges.
Oh, Sitges, like we went to that day trip that was so nice and it was beautiful and it was like you can.
Oh my gosh.
It was more beachy.
That felt like we were in Greece. Like that was beautiful. That was insane. Literally every place we've been to, I love.
But you know, we still have Madrid, which we have other south of Spain cities, but we also have Madrid later, which is another big city. So we'll do Barcelona versus Madrid.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing about our trip is that we have a really good balance of, you know, like Austrian Alps vibes, like mountains, lakeside, riverside days spent, and then we've got like living it up in the city, and then we've also got like walking around the old town.
Just the in between.
The perfect in between where you just sit and think, this is it.
Anyway,
so, thank you for your questions, guys.
Thank you.
And lots of love. Stay safe.